Hi, I'm Šarūnas Jasikevičius from Fenerbahce, and I'm here for a better basketball. Yeah, I must say that maybe not in particular examples, but I think in a lot of situations a little bit different. Some is probably forced because I am 10 years older. Some is also forced because we have huge changes in the calendar. First of all, we have huge changes in the calendar as far as the preseason goes. We have a lot less time with some European EuroLeague Players Association rules. National team is changing every year. Sometimes you have the whole team, sometimes you don't have the whole team, sometimes you have the windows, sometimes you don't have the windows. So everything changes, and also, every person, I believe, is a little bit changing in 10 years. I mean, we do have to adjust because some things are a little bit different, but I think in the core values and that, I'm as a coach trying to fight for, they have nothing to do with the basketball, the values of respect, the leadership, being on time, being 100%. I mean, these are all things that I'm fighting for every day in order to take maximum for my players. Sometimes the fight is a very simple, easy one. Sometimes there's a conflict, I think over the years that I had, let's say, more conflicts in situations. I maybe know how to handle the situation a little bit easier as I already been through a couple of the situations like this. So it's a little bit more clear for me, the picture. I guess it's a little bit more experience now. Like I said, for me, there's certain red lines that I will not pass, in my philosophy and my way of dealing with things. And at the same time, you have to be open-minded to try to adjust to how the players are right now, to the changing circumstances in European basketball. Yeah, so, it's a constant evolution, let's say. I do understand that the new generation is a little bit different, and social media really influenced us a lot in a lot of the situations. For the young player, it's the most important to teach them the things of life, not the things of basketball. Obviously, I am teaching them basketball, but the things of life is, to be on time, come ready to work, try to be professionals, respect the others, respect the people in the office. First of all, you have to start with those situations that are not related with the basketball. It would help them for the rest of the future, to understand how to interact within the team situation, to understand how to interact within the situation of the high pressures of the game and so on. And I don't know, I don't really have any different way of dealing with them. You still demand 100% every day, but like I said, probably some situations on the life is more important. You also need to explain for them probably a little bit more why things is what we do, why we do certain things in the practices and the games, as probably they have less experience and they haven't been through this situation. As with veteran players, most likely they already know what you're talking about and it's easier for them to pick up. There's a lot of variables why, for example, we play this type of basketball. It comes a lot with, let's say, my philosophy, how I see things. It can change a lot according to what kind of players I have. Ultimately, the players are the most important. They are the ones who make the decisions on the court, and I have to put them in the best position to succeed. So ultimately, you have to adjust to your players. Another thing you have to do on a daily basis is to adjust to opponents. Opponents, they all different, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, there's certain adjustments there. Like you said, there's adjustment that we already spoke, adjustment to the situation. Injuries happen a lot in so many games. In Turkish league, for example, we have every weekend a totally different team, as we can only play with 5 foreigners. In EuroLeague, we play with 10 foreigners, probably, sometimes maybe even 11. So it's constant change, and in some situations is really difficult, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just take it on a daily basis and you deal with it as much as you can. I like where European basketball is. I really enjoy watching the European basketball. For example, if we start going towards the NBA, I would not like that. I mean, it's too many minutes, it's too many games. There's a lot of meaningless minutes. I like where European basketball is. We're constantly thinking about the ways to clean up the game without losing, the defensive part. Let's say that NBA is not so focused on, and I believe there's a lot of beauty in defense, and I think the fans appreciate good defense, and when their team is playing defense. Like I said, constantly I want to get better as a coach, so you must be open to things, and I'm trying to be open. Well, we have to understand if this person is influenced by the social media, if it's important for them. I think it's a very dangerous thing, as you can really get in trouble in this situation with the social media. So again, if you see that happening, most likely you need to go talk with the player. I mean, I personally, have Instagram. Let's say I use it sometimes. I watch it, but at this point, I have the experience to understand that if you're doing good, the social media will be good. If you're doing bad, the social media will be bad. It sort of goes together a little bit with the fake friends or some kind of, absolutely people that you don't know. These people, they cannot influence the way I think, the way I do things, and they will not influence. But like I said, we must be more careful in this situation with the young players and educate them on this, that, try to understand that this is not in some ways a real world. I think as a coach, I always like to take a lot of information. Over the years, I'm like we said before, I'm evolving a little bit. So when you take the analytical information, when you take the data, you can use it. There's no question. A lot of times when there is decisions to be made to use certain kind of defense, certain kind of offense, if you're a little bit 50-50, maybe you will go into the numbers and to check out, and or if you are very clear on some things, you go and you see if the numbers really confirm your thinking. Or sometimes you want to do certain things tactically or something, and the numbers don't confirm your thing. You start thinking, you start discussing with your staff. Is it really good what we're doing? Is it the way to go? Because the numbers saying otherwise. Yeah, so we use it, but I think it's very important not to go crazy with it, every single day. But in certain of situations of where you're not sure of your decisions, especially when you have 2-3 days to prepare, I think analytical numbers are great, very useful. Yeah, listen, I think every situation is particular. You have to think about your situation and make the best decision for your family. The reason why I went to States is probably one of the biggest reasons, is that Lithuania had just got the independence. We were starting as our own country, in independence, and this situation was very bad in Lithuania. When you have to start from zero, we were not good. I mean, right now, 30 years later, let's say our country is flourishing, economically, and everything is getting a lot better. So probably right now, maybe to my son or something, I would not suggest, the junior programs in Lithuania is getting better and better. I think for me, it was extremely important, and as I was leaving a totally different ideology where I grew up in a communist Soviet Union, with certain things, and all of a sudden you go to the opposite ideology in the United States, and it opened completely, the way I thought about the world and about life in general, So as a person, it was a huge eye-opening thing.